This virus. Why say it at all? Why not just say you can't do something? Or why even make promises that you won't keep? Why do you do that to people? You know, why is it just you want to hear yourself talk? You know, or worse, why hold people hostage at the 24th hour, you know, for any reason whatsoever, you know, so that whatever project you're working on, et cetera, just doesn't come to light. You know, why can't you work these things out either before or after? All right. So that, you know, you can move forward. You know, it's just why waste each other's time? Why can't people just work together and work things out? You know, it's amazing that I see this. The other thing is, you know, this has been a difficult 2 weeks for me. You know, I've lost two people in my life. You know, my niece and a cousin of mine. You know, unfortunately, you know, they passed away. You know, one had a long, you know, history. You know, at 17, somewhere between 17 and 20 years, of a very debilitating illness, and she was basically 100% total care. You know, I know because myself and my family, we took care of her. You know, and it was very challenging. And what I can tell you is that, you know, I will definitely miss her. You know, I mean, she was with me for so long. She was like a daughter to me. And, you know, it's hurtful, even though I know at this point in time, she's in a much better place. You know, I mean, we're going to be grieving for a while because she's become just a part of our household. You know, and I remember, and I'm saying this because I know that there are other people out there that have family members that need help. You know, you don't have to be wealthy. You know, you don't have to be rich. You know, you don't have to have, you know, a ton of assets to leave behind. You know, when I look at people over the last couple of days, I saw older people. I'm not going to say old people because they may come after me. People my age. I saw a couple of generations younger. And then I saw new people, little people, which is beautiful. You know, the evolution of family. Your family is expanding, growing. And my message is that, you know, if you're concerned about where you stand in life and what you're going to leave behind for those people to follow you, the single most important thing that you can leave behind for your family is love. Let everyone see you love your family unconditionally. All right. Why? Because you want the people coming up after you to see that so that they can pick up on that energy and continue to not only practice it, exercise it, and pass that on. That is the best legacy you can leave for anyone. Not money, not wealth, not power, not influence, but love. the one thing I believe that we lack more of than anything in this world today is the ability to just simply love and care for one another. I've never seen such disregard for other people, you know? Just as an example, and it looks like I got a guest, is there was a gentleman that got himself into trouble, looks like it was some kind of embezzlement thing. And he figured he would distract the legal system from his embezzlement by, I don't know if he claimed something happened to his wife and his family, but he basically killed his wife and child to distract the world from the crime that he had committed in embezzlement. I'm like, what's going on? What was he thinking? And it makes, so now of course he's in jail for murder, of course, but where's that train of thought? I mean, where'd that train of thought process come from? It makes no sense to me. A lot of things are not making a lot of sense to me. But I think of people, I'm like, wow. But let me stop there because I can go on and on. Hey, how you doing out there? Let's say hello to my caller here. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Alrighty. How you doing today?
All right. What's the point of the call today?
I was listening to your conversation. I lost somebody in my family too.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, my brother.
Wow.
And like you said, at a time like this, everybody's supposed to pull close. It seems like they pull you farther and farther apart.
Wow, what's going on?
Everybody's thinking about how they want to do things.
Okay. Well, that's normal. Everybody thinks how they want to do things. Is that for the good or for the worse?
If everybody on the same page is good, but if everybody's not on the same page, it's not good.
True.
And my thing is, make it what he wanted, not what you wanted.
That's true. I mean, did he leave instructions?
Yeah, he said he didn't want a big. He didn't want nothing big. He just wanted to be cremated, but they didn't. He wanted to be cremated, but they don't want to cremate him.
Well, that's okay. Now that's tough. All right. Now, so I mean, I guess it's one of your siblings that's giving you the hard time.
One of them. There's six of us left. There's six of us left. Okay. There's 3 boys and 3 girls. The boys are not the problem. The girls are the problem.
Got you.
They're breaking them on each other. They want to do a book for obituary. What do you need to do a book for?
You got to do
they
what?
They want to put all these pictures in obituary, all this stuff. That's too much.
Okay. Listen, you know what, man? Dealing with family is a challenge. I was just had a conversation a little while ago with somebody. I said, man, all you can do is just love them. I'm gonna tell you, probably half your life you probably can't stand them.
Yeah.
I made a joke the other day. I said, you know what? If you could return your family and exchange them, every store in the country would probably have lines out the door. Okay.
4 lines out.
Exactly. But I mean, unfortunately, that's not possible. I think, in a situation like yours, even though you have an idea of what your brother wanted, your sisters, well, they have their own ideas. I think especially times like this, sometimes we might just have to sit back and let them grieve in their own way. And if grieving in their own way as somehow feeling as though they have some input in this process, let them have this input. You know, and I'm only saying that to you because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I want you to feel closer to your sisters, you know, so that you can say, you know what, you know, instead of, you know, you guys did a lot of things that he didn't want, I mean, maybe this is the only way they know how to express how they feel. You know, I mean, so many people go through life and they don't tell the people that are closest to them how they really feel about them. Maybe there's some underlying issues of guilt, you know, because maybe they weren't there enough for one another, you know. So now they want to they overcompensate a little to or a lot, you know, by doing so to try to make other people understand how much they care. You know, sometimes when you're dealing with family, especially times like this, it might be good mental health for you to say, you know what, I'm gonna let you all iron this out. Y'all need me, my input, give me a call. You know, what is it that you want me to do? Let me take care of that. And this way, you know, everybody feels like they were a participant. And everybody feels like, you know, that they care, that they cared enough to really make sure that they send someone home properly. You know, it's hard to know what's going through people's minds, but what you don't want to do is, you know, create any more distance between you. You know, man, listen, you got 5 siblings, you know, man, spend more time enjoying and appreciating each other. Whether you really like each other or not, just spend time trying to learn, you know, just communicating and appreciating one another. Because one day, man, listen, at my age, you sound like you're a little older, man. We got nothing but bad days. We got a lot of bad days ahead of us. And I mean, what I mean by bad days is that the people we care about the most, man, they just start leaving. And that's the, you know, those are tough days, man. You know, and I can think of somebody that's closest to me that, man, I don't know how I would react if I ever lost them. And I'm sure you have people like that too. But, you know, the worst part about it is that in life, those are the only things that's guaranteed. You know, is that people we love will be lost. You know, but I'm sure that the people that we lose don't want us to lose ourselves, you know, when, you know, we look at the people that are pretty much left behind. We got to learn to grasp on to one another, man, and just hold each other tight and be there when we need each other. You know, not for any particular reason, not for any personal gain, just because. Because you know what I can tell you, and I'll bet you in your family that there was always someone in your family willing to take care of anybody and never ask for a thing. You know, no matter what. Didn't care. Didn't, you know, will love you no matter what you did, where you came from, where you were, who you are. Just love you. Didn't care just because you were family. You know, and you know, not saying that they approve of your choices, but then they would never turn their back on you no matter what. You know, I think we got to figure out how to get back to that, man. You know, just say, you know what? We don't have to enable one another, especially when there are bad habits involved. But we just have to let people know, say, hey, you know what? I love you. and we're gonna work through this together. You know, and when this is over, I'm gonna keep on loving you, no matter what. Liking you or not, you're still my family. All right. And if something goes wrong, I'm gonna be there for you because God knows that no matter what, man, the chips are gonna fall for everybody. It's inevitable. How and when, we don't know. You know, and you can look to the right or to the left, and you don't know what person that's gonna step up on your behalf, man. You don't know. You know, all you can do, like you said, you know, is just go out here, man, and just try to be appreciative of what you have left. You know, because, you know, listen, man, we losing them, man. Every day we're losing. We lose what we love, you know, and like I said, some are going to hurt more than others. Some are going to hurt a lot more than others. You know, and I don't know, you know, what else to say about that, man. It's hard. It's hard, you know, but with your sisters, you know, listen, man, sometimes you just got to let them just do their thing. You know, and when it's said and done, listen, just like you smile and say, man, you know what? Go on, girls, do it, whatever. Just do it. You know, let them go ahead, do their thing, and, you know, come back at the end, man. You go to repast, you eat some food, you sit there, you laugh and talk with other people.
No. I'm not going to rehab. Oh, no. Okay, let me hold up. You're going to have family from both sides, on your father's side and your mother's side. And I don't care for the ones on my father's side, and I'm not going to front it, so I don't want to be there.
That's fair. What did I say? I said, you're not necessarily going to like them. Didn't I say that?
Yeah, but I can't even go there and be phony. I can't even go there and be phony, and I'm just not going.
That's fair. You know, listen, man. I mean, we live in an imperfect world, man. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, but
right. My thing is this: I'm willing to bet any amount of money at that repast where they meeting at. It's going to be a fight, argument, and everything, because that's how the family is simple.
Man, listen, you know, I think that's common at funerals. You know, a couple years back, I remember going to a funeral, and everybody kind of knew that there were going to be issues regarding property. And I think we might have been at the house 5 minutes before somebody said, you know, this land belongs to my mama. Everybody in there got to get out. I'll never forget that, man. I was like, wow, that didn't take long at all. I mean, you know, we had just gotten back to the house, you know, just basically got there, sat down outside. I think I had time to grab one cold beer. Sat back in the chair, and out it came. I said, wow. You know, I said, you know what? People are so predictable sometimes, man. It's actually comical. I said, here we go. You know, and I'm sitting there saying, I don't know how they're going to work this whole issue out, man. And listen, there was some bickering. But you want to hear the funny thing is, you want to know the moral to the story? Is that taxes weren't paid and the government took the property.
Right. Everybody wanted, but nobody wanted to pay the taxes.
The taxes weren't paid, and the government ended up with the whole kid caboodle. I'm like, wow. You know, and I'm sitting there like, I'm looking there, you know, I'm thinking about everybody out there that was arguing about who had what, and who was supposed to get this, and who was supposed to get that. And I'm like,
and see, that what happened when greed come in. You lose it all anyway.
Yeah, but you know what funny? Look at the world today and everything that's going on in it, man. I think the motivating factor behind most of the problems that we have today is all greed, man. All greed.
Yeah.
You know, nobody cares. What happened it used to be about America, United States of America. That things were done for the greater good of people, most people. I don't feel that same sense of, I don't know if I want to call it patriotism or camaraderie. I don't know what I want to call it. It's just people are more concerned about their own net worth as opposed to the well-being of other people, especially when they're in positions that's supposed to make it better for everybody. I don't understand a lot of decisions that are made. I don't get it at all. I mean, we're really in some, we got some tough times ahead of us. And I remember, I used to have a lot of conversations with my father, man, for years. He used to always say to me, he says, he used to teach, everything that's happening, he basically told me was going to happen. And I'm saying to myself, as I see it happen, I'm like, he couldn't have been right. I mean, he used to give me these lectures, man. I'm going to tell you, ever since I was small. I mean, my teens, my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, I used to hear this from him all the time. And I'm like, no way. The government is not going to let this kind of nonsense go on. And he looks at me, and I'll never forget this. He says, what are you talking about? It's going to be the government that's making it happen.
Yep. I can believe it.
Man, you know what? You know what's scary? Because he shared with me some very scary things. I am afraid of him actually being right. Because that would put us, we're going to be in a situation. If that's the case, man, we got some really bad days ahead of us. Really bad days ahead of us. I hear financial people talking about the government's lying. I hear, people saying, oh, things are great. I hear some people saying things are bad. When I talk to most people, I can't really get, most people are not happy where they stand. I hear people talking about how unsafe they feel. You know what I saw last night?
What?
I'm standing outside the funeral home last night, and I watch a guy walk past me at the funeral. He was wrapped in a sheet. He had a sheet wrapped around him. He had pajamas on and hospital slippers. He had a leg ulcer that was clearly visible, and he was just walking down the street. Now, there is a hospital in the vicinity about a block away. I'm like, this man clearly just walked out of the hospital.
Yeah.
Now, he had a sheet wrapped around him and pajamas on, and it was cold last night. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, how did he walk out like this?
Nobody cares.
How do you walk out like this? How? And you said something. Nobody cares. He just walked. He just walking down the street like, I don't know where he was going. Maybe he was going home, but he just looked up like he just said, I'm leaving. And he clearly looked like he needed more care, but he just looks like he just walked out. And I'm like, what kind of facilities do we have where people that need services feel the need to leave? What is going on that our caregivers who's supposed to be looking out for us, taking care of us, because if you're taking care of me, the last thing I want to do is leave you and walk away in the cold with no clothes on, basically. in the freezing cold with a sheet and hospital pajamas on. And hospital, they're not, what do they call them? Foam slippers? Not even real shoes. Foam slippers.
Yeah.
Barely on his foot. I said, he's basically walking down the street barefoot. Wow, what is going on? First of all, how does he get out of the hospital?
They probably don't even know he walked out.
There's always somebody, supposedly somebody, manning the doors.
Right. If you care.
There's supposed to be security, receptionist, somebody by the front door saying, sir, there should be.
No, not no more. They let you go. They don't care.
They're supposed to have a bracelet on, okay, which I remember these things, that when they get near the door, an alarm is supposed to go off.
They don't care anymore. If you want to leave, leave. That's what for them to do.
You can sign papers against medical advice and leave, but the hospital would never let you leave the hospital in hospital pajamas, a sheet, and foam slippers and walk through the cold.
I've seen it a lot.
Yeah. But the thing is, something is amiss. Something is wrong. The system is broken.
Right. That's just like you said. Nobody cares. The value of life is gone. It's all about money.
Wow. Is that where we are right now? We just don't care about one another anymore. Is that what it is?
Yep.
I mean, will somebody at least have the courage to just stand up and admit it?
Nope.
Why create the facade? Why not just say we don't want you here? So people have the choice to go elsewhere where they are wanted.
Yep.
I mean, I saw on the news, even the people that were being imported from the border states, and they're being housed in, I guess, all kinds of different facilities. They would rather sleep outside than stay in the places that the government is setting up for them. They say because the conditions are so poor.
Condition is poor, safety is poor, everything.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? People need jobs everywhere. The government says they created over 500,000 jobs so far. And unemployment has been at its lowest since the 1940s or 1950s. So if you have people that need assistance and they're complaining about poor living conditions, why aren't people working to improve these problems? What are we doing? I mean, everybody can see where it's broken. Everybody can see where everybody can see where it's broken, especially if you're working in that environment. If it's broken, fix it. Fix the problem. Go to the powers that be and say, let's start with problem number one. Let's start. If you need more security, hire more. You need more people to clean, hire more. I mean, bring people in that can help you make things a little more manageable. People, they create 500,000 jobs. A lot of people are still out of work.
Yeah.
A lot of people are still out of work. I don't like to point people out, but I remember hearing on the news once, news has been pretty informative. McDonald's CEO makes $7 million a year, but states that he can't pay the employees $22 an hour because it would cause a lot of job loss in the company. I'm like, well, that doesn't really, that seems a little bit lopsided, doesn't it? That doesn't make a lot of sense me.
So
You still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm listening.
I said, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You got people that are making, money that's way out on the outlier out there, lots of money, but refusing to pay people a decent wage so they can live better and justify it by saying, if I did that, a lot of people would lose their jobs.
Yeah.
Shake it up.
My answer to that is that, okay, so why not just have the CEOs take a cut in pay? How much money do you need, man? How much money do you need?
They get some money, they lose.
Huh?
The more you give your employees, the less you get.
And then I've seen professional athletes do it, take a cut in pay to get a better wide receiver, a better point guard. I've seen the star of the team take a cut in pay to bring another player on board to play football. Okay, but you're telling me, the superstar of the company or the person running the company can't say, well, I need to cut the budgets a little bit so I can make sure my employees have a better quality of life. And you wonder why there's so many people with problems these days. Like, come on. I can't understand why they don't see it. How much do you need? How much do you really need to maintain your current lifestyle? You just stacking money. How much does it cost really to live? Listen, it's America. Make what you can. Make as much as you can. It's okay. But the thing is that, how can you look at the rest of the world and not feel like, man, I let me do what I can to help? And they're not asking for much. Most people are just asking for an increase. The people in the fast food industry are asking for just a wage increase. A wage increase. So I don't get my bonus. Is it going to really hurt me? $200 a week in your pocket is is that what I'm making? If it's comparative, will that cut in my pay really make a difference in my life? It'll make a big difference in your life, but will it really hurt me? That's I know the world. We're not built that way. That was one of the statements we made earlier, man. Is that the world is being run by everything is based on greed now. Yeah. Self-reliance. It's about me. If we don't change, if we don't think about ways to change, the whole system's going to implode very soon. And everything that I used to get lectures on by my own will actually be something that comes true, man. Real people will be coming after you. Real people will be, they're already doing it.
Yeah.
You see it. Just people are, what they say? Burglaries are up. Violent crimes are up.
From what I heard violent crime is down and burglaries down too. That's what they tell you here.
Hey, listen, what do you see?
I don't see what they see. That's why I listen to the news.
You don't see what they see either, huh? That's I'm like, wow. It doesn't make sense, right? You've created more. I think you've created more desperation. You've brought in, I don't know the exact numbers, but let's just say a lot of people from another country. And you've put them in living situations, which is not the best, but you're doing the best that you can. But you don't see that you're creating a whole nother system, a group of people that may actually look to find other ways to live. You know, and I mean, I can see it potentially. I mean, yeah, in your mind, you may believe that you're doing everything that you can, but what about the minds of the people? Are the people that you're taking care of? Do they believe that you're doing everything that you can? Because that's the thing. When you help people, when you take care of people, that was one of the questions I used to have at the end of my visit. Okay, I said, I know we spent a lot of time together, but is there something that I missed, or is there something that you think that I can help you more with? I want to make sure that everything that I've done is enough for you today. If there's something more that I can do, please tell me. And listen, man, all you can do is be honest with people. Say, you know what, I may not be able to get it done today, but it's important that you tell me what more I can do for you. All right, so that I can address it and try to make your situation better. Because it's not always about medical. All right, because in the family practice world, it's we try to treat the family dynamic as well as the environment around you, okay, to try to make a better, healthy living situation for you. Now,
right.
And that's important, man. But I mean, I'm curious, man. What are you going to do about those sisters of yours?
My sisters?
Are they older? Are they older?
Yes.
Oh man, so
my brother that passed away was the next two. I got a younger brother than me than him. Then it's one sister, one brother, two sisters. But one thing about this family is something wrong with all the girls anyway, so you have to understand that. The boys ain't hard to please.
Huh?
The boys not hard to please. The girls, it's like they're fighting against each other.
Hey, you got some sibling rivalry going on there, but you know what? Listen, man, what are you gonna do? Like I said, I mean, you might just have to step back and let it play out.
That's what I'm doing.
At the end of the day, the only person that's going to be upset is you.
Yep, that's why I'm just being alone.
Don't make sense for you to make yourself sick. Just say, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's make this thing happen the way you see it happen. All right. If this will make you happy, as long as it's respectful, I can live with it. The issues the issues that happen after the fact, what? I don't think there's a household in America that doesn't go through those kind of issues. Everybody's got that one family member. I'm being calm. Everybody got that one. Everybody's got that one somewhere. He'll be the one that's sitting back, having a couple of drinks, smoking, and after he gets himself righteous, so to speak, out it comes. His sermon comes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here comes the sermon. And I'm saying he, but it could be she. And here we go. That's the ignition that lights the fire under everyone.
And the funny thing about it has nothing to do with the situation we're talking about.
Never does. It never does. It's like, okay, here we go. And then all craziness breaks loose from there. And that's, but that's, family dynamic, man, it's just hard. It's hard to be a part of it. and it's hard. I mean, it's hard to live with it. But I mean, tomorrow the sun comes up again. The problem child, they're off on their own. They're off somewhere else in the world, and you're behind to pick up the pieces. And that's what you do. You just come clean it up, and like I said, find a way to get closer. Don't enable them, just come closer. Say, how you doing? Is all okay? Is it all okay? I step back.
Question. No question.
Yeah, I step back. I step back. No input. I put zero input into the planning for my niece.
It's like this. You call your sister and ask them, is everything okay? You ain't been. You call her now.
Huh?
Yeah. I said, that's what happens. When you call your sister to check up on them, they'll say, why you calling now? You ain't been calling.
Exactly.
So I was thinking about you.
Say,
I know I don't really communicate. I'm trying to communicate. Don't communicate now. You get to communicate. When I want to talk, I'll call you.
That's just say, okay, no problem. Just and sometimes you just gotta tell them, say, listen, I know I'm not good at communicating. I've been bad at communicating. I apologize, but doesn't mean I don't love you. And if you ever feel like talking to me, I mean, seriously, sometimes you just gotta tell them that you love them. Say, and just say, listen, doesn't mean I don't love you. Don't mean I don't care about you. But I was just reaching out. And if you ever feel like talking to me, hey, I'm here for you. But it doesn't mean I'm going to stop calling. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to do that because I mean, people are going to be bitter for God knows what reason. They might be mad at you, man, because you hid their tennis shoes 10 years ago. It could be something as petty as that. But the thing is that you gotta open up and try your best to maintain the lines of communication. Like I said, you don't always have to like each other, but out there in this world, man, we ain't got nobody else, man. We ain't got nobody else but our family.
My sister would change her phone number so you wouldn't have it.
Okay, no problem. Listen,
yeah.
You know what?
And if you go ring her doorbell, she won't open the door.
That's okay. Leave her a note. She can throw the letter away. Doesn't matter. But you know what? Always try to make the effort. It doesn't even have to be a huge effort, but make a effort. Okay? Because the thing is, she doesn't know if she'll ever need you. People act like they don't, people walk through this world, act like they don't need anybody. Okay? But what I can tell you is that I've seen some of the most powerful people, some of the strongest people that you could ever want to meet or hear about in this world. And when I tell you, when that bad day happens, because I've seen it happen to a lot of people, I watch these people crumble up, fall apart. You hear me? I mean, literally, just they're crushed. And they look up, and I've seen they got nobody to tell, nobody to talk to. And even if they have people that they can tell what's going on, they don't want them to know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want them to know about it. And I'm like, no, man, you need help. And when they finally realize that they need that help, wow. I've seen people just end up in places just because they were just the wrong kind of people their whole life and the way they treated them. You don't know who that person's going to be, man, to step up and say, man, I got you. I got you, cousin. I got you, nephew. I got you, mom. I got you, pop. All right? But I'm going to tell you, there's nobody in this world, man, that's going to take care of you better than the people that love you. And the only people that are going to really love you are the people that are related to you, one way or another. All right? Don't expect someone making $20 an hour, $40 or $50 an hour to take care of you the way you need. First of all, they don't know you. But the people that you're in your life with, they know you. They're gonna make sure you eat. You know, they're gonna make sure you're taken care of. You know, I brought my niece home with me 17 years ago, man. Okay, I thought that with her medical condition, being in a facility that could offer her treatment and therapy was the best thing for her. When I brought her back to me, I brought her back to me not because they didn't offer that. I brought her back to me because she was neglected. When I saw what had happened to her, I mean, she came back light as a feather with bed sores. You hear me? I spent hours, man, every single morning before I went to work, treating and fixing those bed sores for her. And when I got her squared away, I got her all healed up, I taught caregivers that I paid for out of my own pocket and my wife, all right, how to take care of people's skin to keep them from developing bed sores. Even though they're incontinent, okay? I said, you know what? Soap and water takes care of the incontinence, okay? And I'll leave this tidbit of information for everyone that's listening to the program. If you have people that are home in bed and you want to make them feel better and you want to take care of their skin so it doesn't break down, you want to know the treatment for that? Vaseline. Vaseline, petroleum jelly. Just put it in your hands and rub it all over their body. It's going to stimulate the blood supply. Make them greasy. I used to tell everybody, make them greasy. Grease them up. All right?
Okay.
It'll make their skin soft, healthy, okay? And do it every day. Their feet, especially the bony areas, the hips, the buttocks, the ankles, everywhere. Rub it all over their body. First of all, who doesn't like getting a massage?
Right? Me.
They're gonna
cost you money.
They're going to appreciate you because they're going to see how attentive and how caring you are just because you're touching them every day. Okay, they're going to love that. All right, but the most important thing is that by doing that, you're going to take care of their skin. You're going to save their skin, and they're not going to get those nasty decubitus ulcers. All right, and all you do is when you see them, they've soiled themselves, and they will. Soap and water cleans that way up. You may be a little squeamish at first, but it's something you'll get used to. Keep them dry, keep them clean, and when they, and apply that Vaseline. Very simple. Either that, a jar of petroleum jelly. You don't have to get the Vaseline kind. You can get the cheap 99-cent one, big one. The same. Just rub it on. Make them greasy. All right. 17 years. My niece in the bed, 100% total care. Never saw another bed sore. All right.
Oh, that's good.
I'm telling you, take care of your own. I'm gonna leave you all with that message tonight. God bless everyone. Remember, back to the beginning of the program. Okay. Viruses are a triple threat. Okay. Protect yourselves. The only other message I'm going to leave you all with tonight is that if there are medical issues you're suffering from, any medical issue, all right, the message I'm going to leave you with is something to think about. I want you to think about what you're not doing or what you're doing too much of. All right? Look yourself in the mirror and figure out what you can do to change your life. Okay? Simple. Lifestyle modification. What can I do? If your blood pressure's too high, What am I eating? Am I smoking? Am I drinking too much? Simple. If that's the case, then think about just giving it up. Think about start taking that walk. All right. If you got problems with sugar, think about what you're not doing. Are you eating right? You eating you eating bad foods? Have you been exercising? All right. A lot of times these problems we get are a result of either overindulgence or not doing anything at all. We have to take care of ourselves. And a lot of times the treatment for these problems, basically starts right here. What can I do to make myself better? All right. The world has gotten a little bit lazy. We're looking for that magic pill. But I'm going to promise you that pill that we're giving out, all it does is going to make you have to get more pills. And you've seen it. That's the magic in the pill. One turns into 20, guaranteed. All right. That's the way it goes. Go see the doctor. What are you going to do? You don't take you off the pill, the first pill they gave you. He's going to give you another one. And then another one. And then another one. And eventually you'll be carrying a little shopping bag to the doctor full of pills. You'll actually take more pills than you have food. I guarantee that's one thing that's guaranteed. But all it takes is for you to think about your life. What is it that you're missing? All right. What are you not doing? Or what are you doing too much of? All right. Bad habits. All right. Think about what you're doing. Even, this marijuana fad that's going on. All right. I know for a fact that down the road, there'll be more people with respiratory problems than you can shake a stick at. It's coming. Why? Because it's more important to smoke the marijuana than it is to do whatever. I mean, I see people, they wake up in the morning, they smoke. They smoke all day. They smoke when they get home.
Yeah.
All right? And you see it. I see it every day. Everywhere you go, you smell it. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes people hug you and they smell it. It's like, wow, man, wow, strong. Listen, think about what you do. Maybe next week, we'll talk about alternatives to that. Okay? But for now, for all of you guys watching, I mean, thanks for allowing us to share with you this evening. God bless. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for calling in, man.
All righty.
You got it. Good night.
Good night.